Hi everyone. Guess what? I'm back in Alaska. I'm so excited. Of course, I'm only here for another day. I leave tomorrow to go to the beach in Florida to really relax and refuel. Iceland was amazing. A month went by in a snap, and obviously I got a lot done. It was an amazing mission, and I say mission because I was working. I was doing so many different things that my spirit guides were asking me to do, and in the interim of doing all the things that they wanted me to do, I got to see and experience a whole lot. There's a lot of stories to tell, which is why there's 170 videos. I tried to keep most of them kind of short so that you're not watching hours upon hours of stuff. I wanted to just highlight the really cool stuff that I found at each of the places and just give you a bird's eye view of some of the different things that you can experience, so that if some of you decide that you're going to go to Iceland, you can go back and go, okay, these are the cool places that I saw that Jackie did, and then that way you can put those on your list. What I wanted to do is like bring this map up and go, okay, so I went here and did this and da. But the thing is I started looking at this and I'm like, I honestly can't remember what I did at these different places because I can't pronounce their names. The names don't make sense. When you put too many consonants together and you have no vowels in between, I can't speak the word. And it doesn't click, it doesn't resonate. And because, again, also I went to so many different places, I don't remember what each place had. So what I'm going to do is I am going to bring the map up. I am going to show you everywhere that I stopped, but I'm not going to explain everything that I did. I will, in the description part of this message or this video, I will put all the places that I went, and then it'll just be up to you to go into the playlist and then pull up each one. And then what I would suggest is maybe make a note on where I was and what I did. If there was a place that you want to remember, so that if you go, you can go back and know that that was the title of that video. Make sense? Okay. Let me say this first too. Thank you so much for those of you that went with me, because this, I can't tell you how many times I was pushed outside my comfort zone, how many times I was going into unknown territory, because when my spirit guides come to me and they go, we want you to go and do something, it means that they tell me where I'm going, but there is no other information given until I get there. So some of you may have already seen one of my other videos that I did where I explain, they told me a year ago that I needed to get ready to go back to Iceland, but I booked the trip and that was all. I flew in, I got tested, I got my bags, and I sat and I waited until my spirit guides told me what to do next. And yes, it takes a tremendous amount of faith and trust, but I've been working with my guides long enough that I trust them completely, that much that I will fly across the world with just a ticket to get there and leave the rest of it up to them. Because what happens is they then work behind the scenes in order to manifest what's going to be ideal for me at the time. Because if I were to book stuff before I left, timelines change, situations change, consciousness changes. So it's better for me to be patient and let them lay out for me what is best at that time, so that I'm not in a situation that I have to course correct later. So that's why when I flew into Keflavik, and then I got a ride up to Reykjavik, which is where I stayed for the first few days, as I'm acclimating, to it was an 8-hour time change, and it hit me on day 3 and 4. It was like I'd been hit by a truck. And I'm really glad that I wasn't traveling during that time, because it just wouldn't have been productive. So going in and taking a few days to actually acclimate to the time change was definitely well planned out by my spirit guides. And then when I started traveling, they basically sent me straight north, because they wanted me to do very specific things at specific lighthouses that were up on the north side, and it had already started snowing. So they were like, go ahead and go straight north, do what you need to do up there, and then you can work your way back around and then come back and hit this other side that you missed by going straight up. And so that's why you'll see on the map how I did that. So let me just kind of point some of these things out. Okay, so map of Iceland. I'm just going to tell you, this is backwards when I look in here for me, but it's going to be straight when you're actually watching it. So I can't look at this map and see what I'm doing very well. Number one, because it's super tiny, and because it's backwards. But anyway, I flew in down here at Keflavik. I went up into Reykjavik. That's where I took time to acclimate. It was where I did my quarantine. And then I started traveling straight up. I went into Akranes, which is where the 2 lighthouses are. My friend Hilmar is there, and did some lighthouse work here. I went into Bogarns, which is where the troll village was. I skipped all of this and went straight up into the fjords on the north side. So I saw lighthouses up here. This is where my spirit guides really needed me to do some work, was up here on the north side, so I went straight up into here. There were, the horse videos were up in there. A lot of the coastal lighthouse stuff was all up in there. All of the mountain stuff where I'm going through the snow and the ice all took place up here. I eventually ended up back over here in the Egilsstaoir. I can't remember how to pronounce that. The Eglis something. And that's a pretty decent town. It's actually a pretty good size, and it's super convenient to everything that is located below it. Oh, actually, I'm realizing that I'm too far over. That's Akranes. That's the main city that's on the north side. So Reykjavik is the main city on the south side, and Akranes is the one that's on the north side. Right now, I don't even remember what I did up there. I'm sure I did something, but it's not coming to me. So we'll see when I do the description what it was. So over here is the Egil place, and then down below it is where I did the National Forest. It's where I did, I think, the Hengifoss hike, which was really beautiful. It's where all the basalt columns were. That was pretty amazing. And then I ended up on this side coming back down. As I'm coming down this side, again, it was a lot of coastal basalt column rock formations, getting down into the lower areas down here, going back into the black sand beaches, especially down in here. When I got to Hvamm, just can't see. Okay, Hvamm is right here. Okay, so when I got to Hvamm, that's my favorite town out of all of Iceland. Hvamm is just so cute, and it's where there was like a marina, and across from the marina was like 4 hanging glaciers that went straight down to, they are not hanging, sorry, tidewater glaciers that go straight down into the ocean. And then when you come further down into here, you start getting into Diamond Beach. Those are all labeled as Diamond Beach. I'm pretty sure that's right in here. Again, it's all backwards for me, I can't tell. And then you start getting into waterfalls. So each one of these waterfalls that are all down through here, all through this area here, are waterfalls. And there were a whole bunch of them. There were some that you hike up to the top of it by climbing the stairs. And then there were other ones that you walk behind. There were some that you walk into caves and then see the waterfall in the cave. Yeah, all of those were pretty amazing, super amazing. And then once I started coming back up into here, I went to Selfoss. I stayed in Selfoss. That was a really nice town. I did go back up into the Pinglavir, which was another national park. That's one of these. Again, I can't read it while it's backwards. Where the tectonic plates are. I did, and then I kind of came back out and came back into this peninsula. Now, here's what I have to say about this peninsula. If you go to Iceland, don't miss this peninsula because it was amazing. This whole end right here is a national park, and the peninsula is like Snael. I call it Snuffleupagus because it's just such a crazy word. But this is a national park on the end, and this is where I spent the day, and I stopped like 8 different times because there was so much to see. That's when I walked up the volcano, the Saxhall volcano crater. They had stairs that went all the way up to the top, and you could look inside the crater. All the different times that I stopped to do the rock formations at the coastline, and they were just, the water was incredible within those rock formations. It was, I was just in awe. Let me think what else was out there. It was just a day filled with stop after stop after stop because there was just so much to do. Then I came back down and I went into here where I went into Glamir, and Glamir was where I had the most challenging hike. That's the one where I had to cross the 2 rivers. So again, let me just kind of pan back out. This is the whole view. All these circles, you know, are places that I went. And I will, in the description, put some notes so that you can see a little bit better where I went and what I did. So, again, this kind of journey, when I did it back in 2018 by myself, and I took pictures and videos, but I didn't do it as though somebody else was watching. And I'm here to tell you there's a huge difference. I am so glad that I did that, and I'm so glad that you were with me because it made me feel like I wasn't alone. Even though I knew I wasn't alone, my guides and angels were there, but I felt like I didn't feel like I was on my own because I was constantly having fun making these videos. It really made it enjoyable for me. Keep in mind when you're watching these things that there are videos on there that have some guided meditations, guided breathing, and I tried to label it like that in the title. There's also, I think, 3 yin yoga classes that are also in there. There's about 11 Calm the Chatters. So I tried to really add a variety of different things. The other thing that's in there is a lot of lessons that my spirit guides had me learn. There were times like Glamir, I was facing fears that I didn't even know I had. And what I hope is that through the videos you are able to watch and sense and pick up on the energy and some of the messages and maybe how they might even apply or help you in the things that you're going through in your life as well. So again, thank you for the donations. Thank you for going with me. if you know anyone else that might be interested in watching some of these, please let them know, because I'm going to continue to have something up on my website where people can continue to, anything that's donated is appreciated. This was definitely a very expensive trip that I will be paying off a while, but I trust that it was so amazing and worthwhile, even though it was very challenging and very difficult and very expensive. It was what it was, and I knew that I needed to do it, because that's what I do. When my spirit guides say go, I go. And all right, that's it. So again, thanks a lot. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to message me and let me know. Okay, until next time, talk to you later. Bye.